successfully like Guts before. So, you know, it's always eyes on a player like that.
Yeah, well, let's see where we'll be heading for this game. Best of one here. Bring up the map veto. Each team vetoes 1-1-1-1 until we come down to just one map remaining. Fnatic gets the first ban. Guts gets the final ban. Consulate is where we head. Hap, thoughts?
Really quickly trying to scan through here, and I'm seeing that Consulate win from Fnatic against Norarengo with a 7-4, and a 7-4 win earlier on this phase against Talon. And while I continue scanning, all I can really see is wins on Consulate here for Fnatic. So Guts must be feeling really confident as they bring them here.
It's got to be, because obviously, you know, when the choice between Oregon and Consulate, they're going to be looking to attack first of all as well. Guts is a good attacking team, so I think that's what's going to play into some of their decision here to want to come to Consulate, is it's probably a little bit easier to get more pressure onto your attacks and to apply more pressure. The thing about Fnatic as a team is, sure, they've started to build themselves up, but when they've been making mistakes, it's when they've been a little bit slow against hyper-aggressive teams and hyper-aggro teams. Consulate plays well into more aggressive teams than Oregon does. Guts might be kind of hedging their bets and saying, look, out of these two, sure, they've been successful here, but we're on a roll and we know what we can do. This, for them, is probably a pretty good space to try and do it out of those two.
Yeah, what I'm wondering, what's on my mind, is which team is going to show up today? The Fnatic that 7-0'd Cyclops, the Fnatic that has been on point form, or the Fnatic that has been hassled out of the server in some of these playdays, the Fnatic that people were disappointed to see so far in 2020. And I know we've had a couple of interviews with Mag. It's been very exciting to get a taste of what's to come and what Fnatic have been working on. And on the flip side of that, Guts, as you say, Fluke, have been on the up. They've been looking to secure some victories and hopefully push themselves as far as we can for that November major. It is Consulate for today's match. Your casters over here will take it away. Over to you guys.
And we're on. There you go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm trying to see like how everything's working today. Milos, Jess on the analyst desk, or in the caster's desk. You're muted, Jess. Are you?
No.
No, you're not. Okay, there you go. So everything is fine.
Production's
Jessica
lying to me. They're putting me on my toes, which is fair enough. For the last day at APAC North, why not keep me on my toes? Shout out to you, production. They've done an excellent job here trying to deal with some of these tech issues in the background. So I'm just really happy we get this play day underway. Yeah,
we're back on Consulate. It's the last time we saw Fnatic here versus Norarengo a couple days ago. And here they are now against Guts Gaming, two teams that not long ago in the past were considered the two best in their own micro-regions.
Yeah, you know, we were speaking, the analysts were speaking before about, you know, the teams and going to Consulate. And I was a little bit worried for Fnatic because they actually didn't look that confident on Consulate. They actually got taken advantage of by Norarengo on a few of those rounds, 7-4, I believe. So I don't know if this is their strongest map, even though the statistics would suggest it. My fear is that if I look over to Guts's win rate, especially on attack, of which they won't start, they'll start on defense, and they have a 72.4% amount of win rate on attack, which is huge. Whereas Fnatic's a little bit more 50-50 on their attacks and defenses on Consulate. So if you're a better team on the second half, Guts might be able to do a big comeback. Or if they do pretty well on their defense, it might look pretty good for them on the second half as well.
Pulse Bench, like we had before, and Valkyrie, both operators getting smacked off the board for the defense. Even as we saw it, the map was played twice in our last APAC Playday, and it was the same resolution, I guess, that we had today. Thatcher and Nomad will be taken out. So expect a bit of runouts. Maybe Fnatic would like to get a bit more aggressive later, as they seem to be a bit more passive when they were playing against Norarengo on this map a couple of days ago. As Guts start off on the defense, they're going to pick out Garbage first. Will they go for a sixth pick? Seems that they would lock down the Clyde. Malusi and the rest of the squad.
Oh, here we
there
go,
it is.
baby.
Yeah.
The Glaz is back, Milos. Let's
Jess,
go.
you know what? I know we're not going to talk about a Ying Glaz meta. Thank God. But would you like to explain to people what has happened over the past couple of days?
Oh, look, the new patch came out right before the last Playday, so these teams get an opportunity to be able to utilize it in its full capacity. And when you're talking about Glass, he used to have a really big penalty movement. Obviously looking through the smoke and whatnot, if you moved even a centimeter, you would lose a lot of that ability to be able to see through it. And as a result, people thought he wasn't quite as strong. Nowadays, the penalty's been reduced significantly, and you can strafe quite considerably whilst looking through the smoke and still being able to see those opponents thermally. I think it's a great change because it makes him more viable. It does still have a lot of recoil though, Milosh, so you've got to be pretty accurate with your shots. You can spam really quickly if you are accurate though, so it'd be interesting to see exactly how Tex, who's a pretty good shot, is going to use it.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not the one playing in his shoes, I can tell you that much. But hey, it's Tech's professional player. I'm going to bring them in with the Glass, preparing everything. And they might be calling for a rehost here, sound bug.
Oh.
Seems like it is the case. So we're going to cut to that. Again, you can only know about the fact that you have a bug or something early on in the round. Yeah, you have to get it started first before you can actually get through to that. And here we are. Glass is in. We kind of expended that point, but Fnatic are really playing for a bit today, right? They've shown improvement, but it's not really the impressive Fnatic that we were still expecting, right?
Yeah. I think you and I and all of us on the analyst desk and beyond said in stage one, how much does the tech issues for Fnatic really play into it? We watched a few weeks and I actually made a comment that a lot of their strategies were very one-dimensional and they were getting taken advantage of regardless of the ping. So I was worried that there was more at play here. Mag had said a couple of times that there was a few issues here and there. They were working with their new strategic coach Capel, who used to, be involved in Europe, and now he's being involved in APAC North. And he's a great source of knowledge and experience, but it takes time to synergize support staff and their ideologies and how things go together. And I think now we've gotten into stage two, I'm seeing a better, more coordinated versions of Fnatic, but it's not really coming out in the scoreline sometimes, which is a real shame.
Yeah, and there's a lot of examples of good coordination against them. I will continue to cite the one specific round where they had against Noruengo where, they brought a line, Fnatic that is, they were setting up to attack into the console chamber, consulate a couple days ago, and in a 3v2 ended up losing it to a double run out, basically to bait an air jab. Didn't really work out for Fnatic. They lost one player on the rappel, and then two players were left. Unfortunately, the diffuser was planted a bit too deep into the console chamber. So you watching Skylight or watching the windows is just not good enough to save you in that round. And this is a bit of a communication error. Time also, when you're a bit crunched during the round, can also be a problem that kind of adds onto it a bit more because obviously, as everybody knows, it's very difficult to keep calm under pressure. So you kind of have to give yourself the moment to chill and get into that right mindset. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of work. And to be completely honest, unfortunately, working from home, as we all are, including the players, is not the most is not the environment that is most conducive to the clearest of communication. And that from your own experience. You played with teams online, you played them at LAN, and you've had an entire team with you in a team house, and that variety adds quite a bit to the pressure on the players.
It's so different. It's so different to be next to each other in a gaming house. Like the best thing I can reference recently to really jog people's minds is Tempra.
Yeah,
they won their game the other day, and you watched the video, they were all sitting next to each other in their little gaming house that they had together, their gaming room, their boot camp, and they said being together and being able to work on things one-on-one really quick, have a schedule together, no other distractions in the room or the house from working from home. They're just there, they're actively engaging with their support staff, everything's being watched. That's just super cool, and I was really happy for Tempra.
All right. Well, Jess, I was very happy for them too. It's always good to see this rise in a team that has improved so much as an underdog. From we're barely scratching the bottom two of the board and even through into stage two to pushing so far that you now graduate. You graduate to the upper echelon and play in the top four. There's two French teams, two Russian teams that are playing in there, and it is pretty crazy to think about it. That is in Europe. More details on that major as we come up very, very soon. Everybody's starting to see those advertisements that are popping up on social media, so we highly recommend that you stick with us on it. But it seems like our lobby is close to being set, and here we are back into game. Of course, everybody has to run the same operators as before. We have the rehost round that already started. You can't know if you have a sound bug or not until you actually start the round and walk around for a bit. So here we are. Let's see if there's going to be anything changing in the setup, despite the fact that the operators are the same as before.
Another big thing that we forgot to point out is that Papillon is playing the Melusi, and Melusi doesn't have the T5 SMG anymore. And I think that's huge. As someone who played Melusi quite a lot to understand how she could really affect the meta, she was almost 100% pick rate as well. Her T5 was just something that just added 28 cherries, whipped cream, powdered sugar on top of the whole gist of what Melusi was. So she was already great. Now she has what I would consider to be a bit of a pea shooter in the MP5, swapped it with Oryx, pretty much handed over weapons to each other at training camp. And it actually makes her a lot less viable, I think, because her weapon is quite weak, but her gadget is really important. So it's good to see they're still running her because it's part of the strategy. I just don't think we'll see players who main Melusi in stage 2 really have the impact that they once had before.
Yeah, and it's completely understandable given all of these changes. The T5 is just such a great submachine gun to use. Let's be honest, if you have a great bit of utility, you probably shouldn't be having the best of guns. But here we are, Magnet with the first push onto Crazy Papillon, and it's going to take down the Melusi. Unfortunately, their MP5 not helping out. Better take that back to boot camp. And I'm interested where Lusty would be brought in here to deal with Yura. There's one player right outside of the lobby to check for it, and that Stig's just awaiting. They're probably going to need a bit more information and manpower to deal with him, as right now there's not much in the way that can stop him from going back. There it is. Magnet dropping in from behind, finding the kill. Man, Fnatic on fire early on. Guts a bit too passive.
Unfortunately, what Fnatic is doing right here is Stigs is not over peaking. He's waiting for the drone from Mag. And even last time, and that's a good C4 as well. I'm not sure if that was pre-placed or just by using the sound. But the big thing about that kill there onto the Jaeger of Yura is that Mag, every time he's been playing Consulate, he's had really, really important drones that have used the yellow ping to its full potential. That's what I love, is that we have this new mechanic. And Mag even said on Twitter, there's a new meta. There's a new way to play this game. You either pick it up and learn it and understand how that works, or you don't. And
speaking of meta game,
no, don't say meta to that.
When don't you look, shout out to all my silvers out there. There's a silvers out there. It's fine if you need to do it that way, right? Of course, there's been a change with Ace where your Selmas are only going to pop twice and not 3 times as you had before. Something definitely is a major change, to be completely honest. Still is able to deal with hatches with 2, as was the case before, but hey, you've got to be a bit more careful. Smokes are out and the glass is peeking through them. Another smoke to counter, push Tex a bit further back and forth between the two as Lusty trying to put in some pressure as well. Not sure where he is now, but inhaling a bit of that smoke. Smoke will go out. Another one as they're running the Ace at the same time. There's so much here that can be used, and they're just going to jump through the smoke. Mentalist will go for the plant as Lusty, my homeboy from the Gold Coast, is watching from the top floor. Mentalist going to get the diffuser down as Lily will take him out on the Egress. Guess and Lily will try to deal with this diffuser here. He might be able to just shut it down. The glass is a bit further away. Hello? 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 Lily?
Okay, I gasped before Milosh because I realized with the new Selma change and it got impact tricked, they didn't get the wall open for a run through. They had to crawl through it. So no wonder no one wanted to go to Garage Wall, because it would force them to have to prone, put themselves in a dangerous situation, etc., etc. And I don't know, whoever I wasn't even focused on the player's name of who diffused it. I was so focused on where the heck was Fnatic in that moment. They did not have the angles on that they should have had. Oh no, Fnatic, that is not a good start to this game, which quite frankly, Fnatic really need to win because, I mean, they want to make major. They didn't have a good season. They were, facing relegations, for example. They need some good thing out of this stage.
Oh, man. I I can't believe it. And you know what? We are back to 2017. All right, just let me take you back in the day where Jess was
Like
still
competitive
competing.
days?
Yeah,
Damn.
Jess was still competing. You know, I was casting. You know, I was still casting, I guess. Yeah, these were olden days, and that's when the Ying Glass meta existed. And now you're like, well, we have Ace now, which suddenly means that we have a total of 6 smokes, Ying, Glass, and something to help us deal with Heartbreach, which let me tell you can actually not be super fun to deal with. So I wonder. Now, there's no Wamai banned in this one, so you could always bring the Wamai and the Jaeger. I'm sure that if you wanted to make it even more difficult for the defense, you bring a Capitao on top of everything. But hey, maybe something to explore in the future, right?
I'm so concerned because this is the perfect combination and composition of operators for this side. Out of all of the sides, you want all of these smokes, you want a Glass, you want something really disruptive, it's lobby. It's one of those really opened up spaces where if you can get the plant off, it can be really difficult to understand post-plan, of which Fnatic's clearly struggling with, where they're going to be jumping out from, where they're going to be peeking you from. So more smokes, the better. You're going to be playing things the way you need to. My worry here, Milosh, is that they'll either focus too much on lobby, when they could probably just wait and bait out the kills, get rid of the shield and use smokes to their advantage, or they don't get to use the smokes because they're so focused on everywhere else.
There it is. Great shot from Lusty. You know, quick story. Lusty and I grew up together in a village outside the Gold Coast, Australia. And now look at him. I still can't believe it. Go, my Aussie brother. He's got it already. That's the diffuser down. Crazy Papillon is down, as we already talked about in the previous round. First player to get KO'd, but Light will refrag here to headshot with the Maestro on a Mentalist. At least holding down those back stairs, you still need to deal with Magnet, who can jump out at any point in time. Stigs holding the line, staunch with spears onto Light. And JJ sitting down on the floor. Lily is going to try to do this again here. Low on HP. Is going to do it. No, shot by Tex is going to save the day. And Magnet rushing in just in case. By a hair, by a sliver. Please, people, clip this. Just see the amount of time that was left. They did it still.
You know, I would be surprised if that doesn't go on the subreddit or something for people to explain the new meta that we're in. This is the most extreme version of the meta, let's be honest here. Ying, all of these smokes, you could probably bring a Capitao as well. That would be ultra oppressive, but that's the worst version of it there because that site really plays to those kind of strengths. You can't really do that on a lot of other sites and a lot of other maps and really get away with it because there's verticality. There's a lot of other directions that you have to deal with. There was windows there that really made it impossible for them to be able to freely run around the site. So lobby is just one of those sites where you have one power position, it's above. That was disposed of as the first opening kill, and well, all of a sudden you could smoke off and plant and no one can stop you. That's just how that site is. They are this time going to bring the Dokkaebi instead. No smokes in hand on that one, so they'll only have 4. And when I say only, that is more than enough to pop off with the Glass. I am interested in the scope he's using for it. It's quite a thick and heavy scope, and it cumbers the screen quite a lot. So I'm wondering whether or not that's been an issue for Tex or if it's just sort of something he prefers.
Preferences still all in for no matter what metagame, I guess, we talk about. At least that's the one variable that you can always rely on. Lily is going to bring in the Wamai, something that I talked about before. Would be great to have to deal with all the throwables that Fnatic are bringing. And they're going to bring a Dokkaebi this time to deal with any, I guess, what is that? Can we take a look at this? Huh.
Wait. What are we being told by a beautiful observer?
Can you... Wait, did they lose 2 ADSs? They lost both ADSs to the cart!
Thank you, medics. I did not spot that in our beautiful observer.
I heard something zap.
Yep. They put 2 ADSs on that wall, and then all of a sudden, the electrification destroyed it, and they have no Wamai, and
I put my foot down for that one.
Though? They don't have a yellow rotate to bathroom.
Yeah.
And so because they don't have that, even if they want to grenade at yellow spot, no one's actively playing it. So is that maybe a silver lining? Maybe?
Jess, you're digging deep for this one, but here we are. It's not going to matter, actually. That lack of space for rotation might fall back on Guts as Fnatic is just running in for the plant. Lusty already taken down Lily, and there's Mentalist on the plant. He can just watch that yellow staircase. Oh! Not close enough for it. Tech's going to get one, and Nitro Cell will down another, and Light with the finisher onto Mentalist. Still a 4v3 with a low HP Yura, and there's the finisher from Mag, the SMG-12, rattling off, and immediately Crazy Papillon peeks onto Lusty. The default cam was still up in the hallway, and the smoke is not popping right now, but things really slowed down now in this 3v2.
The big silver lining was that the Maestro was able to get that kill, and the Glaz was too slow. And you could shoot quite fast with his weapon, so it's not to say that he couldn't have gotten it, but he's trying to watch connector, he's trying to watch double doors, he's trying to watch over towards bathroom, he can't watch everything. And then, of course, the player trying to flash out the person with the C4 below. I think that done a little bit of damage as well, just a slight, reverberation of damage over towards the planner. And so I think it was a miscoordination, even though it looked well-timed. I think there was a miscommunication and miscoordination as to who was watching where and how that was to coordinate with the other angles.
How much ammo does Crazy Papillon still have for this one? The call is going to come out, and he still has a couple magazines that can be used here, so definitely something to keep in mind if you're using the SMG-11, not usually the weapon that you can chain multiple kills with. Maestro cameras are fairly late on into the round, finally destroyed. A pre-fire through the wall, not going to be able to nail the shot as there's JJ onto Stiggs. The headshot will connect. Still trying to find the angle there, but unfortunately Tex was not in position at the right time. The smoke is watching the rotation here as Magnet will push up. He's got the SMG-12. There's just a bit of fire there, but the Jaeger is giving all the information necessary behind those shields, and the PMM is not enough to save the day. Crazy Papillon with barely any ammo left in the mag, and even in reserve is going to win it out for Guts Gaming. Fnatic stalling, and they lose it out. Why are these rounds so close?
I don't want to talk bad about Fnatic in that round because they lost it, because I'm so impressed by the strategy employed. They knew they'd have one C4 below. They have their preset drones to be able to ascertain that. They knew the setup would be connector, and Fnatic themselves play a shield up near bathroom, so it's almost identical to their own hold. So they know how to be able to capitalize on the weaknesses of it. The weakness is, if you stop the person C4 and below, you force the smoke to peek out from connector and throw a smoke. A Glaz can see through the smoke, so of course that's going to be able to, hit his shots there. What they didn't know, I think, was that an Evil Eye would be right behind their default plant. I think that was the one weakness. You can see through the smokes for that. You can identify exactly where he is. And there was possibly, like I said, a bit of miscommunication. So I think what Fnatic did was very good, but it just didn't happen in the end. Now we'll go back downstairs. And the thing for me here is they are keeping the Glaz. I think the Glaz hasn't been the problem. A lot of people say, oh, it's not working the way it should be or whatever.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think they're just trying to employ those fast tactics, taking advantage of the weaknesses, and they haven't really been always working.
I am curious now. We've been seeing that fifth operator always changing every round pretty much from Fnatic. They're trying to adapt to what Guts would go to as a site, and they're going to go all the way down to Garage, which Fnatic know. They had struggles before that with Ace because, well, the change, Impact Rift and all. So why not just bring the Habana in case necessary? That's what we had Mag bring before. Unfortunately, all three of the X-Kairos were used on the floorboard. The soft floorboards, that is. Which is usually what we'd like to do with the Zofia or the Ashe. Usually the Zofia will bring breaching charges, and that'll be more than enough. But there it is. That is actually the case currently. Magnet, though, is going to get domed in the meantime. Yura playing upstairs. You saw Guts Gaming putting reinforcements on the top floor, and that's why you always deal with top floor down. Some teams take this from office and not from the console chamber. You really got to be sure how to deal with this depending on how the defenders are set up.
They're really worried about Yura as well. He already got a pick onto Mag, and he's about to also get a pick onto Lusty if he's good. they'll have those yellow pings come out. They're spotting him. And I don't know if Yura knows this drone is consistently spotting him, but they should be able to get this kill. The thing for them is they've wasted almost half the round trying to get this refrag, trying to get this trade, and they've lost one of their hard bridges in the process. And
Hello.
finally, another yellow ping comes out. They will dispatch of Yura, but at what cost? Really? Probably a lot of time.
A lot of time, Luster Heart Breacher, you barely, like, Lusty is barely alive at this point and just watching the flank. You need drones to give you that information, and it's not like Fnatic are feeling super safe in this situation. Anyways, if you were, you'd already be working on the garage reinforcements and such, and that is just not the case right now. They're going to need to rely on techs doing work, and they're going to need Mentalist somewhere to help him out. Though, obviously, Mentalist is going to be focused on the garage wall because it's all completely reinforced. You have to deal with impacts. You have to deal with there's so much that pulls your operators away from the usual point of attention, and that's always something to keep in mind. No impacts are out though, as the glass is covering this, and this at least allows some sort of hole to be open here.
I think he did impact it.
It's not. Yeah,
he did.
It looks like it. Yeah, both impacts were thrown out. Not great. It's only one hole per piece. That's pretty unfortunate there.
He threw his last, so that might open it up. Hopefully they don't get the bad luck of last time where it wasn't even a crouch hole. And with 20 seconds left now, Papillon is on this flank, and this time delay that Guts is employing is impressive.
Beautiful music playing on the side here, the Côte d'Ivoire on every coast. JJ turns around. Where's the glass meta now? He's got a shotgun and he's going to smack him to the face. There's another one. Tech's not ready for it at all. Save for Lusty. And the Zofia upstairs of Stigs is not going to find much here. You can pre-fire every angle you'd like. It's just not going to happen. And Guts will take around at number 4, protecting their bomb diffuser. Nowhere to be found. Same problem again. Problems with Heartbreach. Unable to control the defenders, still get impact tricked, can't plant.
What I'm worried about is that Fnatic look like, especially when they do the top floor down, which you had to, there was a roamer, so you didn't really have a choice, I get it. And they wasted a lot of time on that. What my problem was is that they only needed one person out near garage to start off with, and that was the ace. He had to try and, circumvent those impact tricks. That's his job, no problems. But the rest of the players should have been ripping that floor up on piano. They should have been shredding that floor for about 10, 20, maybe even 30 seconds. You can give that full amount of time to, even if you're dwindling on time, because that is the most important power position you need. Now, whether or not they didn't have the utility they needed, they're breaching charges on the Zofia, so it's actually no excuse. But the default vertical angle over near bathroom door should have been opened, the one behind White Band, and the one for pipes. And really only pipes was opened, and no one really died from that. I don't understand what their priority is. It seems like yellow stairs and breach seems to be their priority, and they open up a little bit of above, but not enough for them to be able to take out those key defenders. And now we move to split site. Does Guts do a bottom floor hold, as most teams would do with the Pulse Now band? That's kind of tricky. I want to see how they hold this.
So 3 rounds already on the defense, not too shabby. Fnatic can bring a couple in more. Maybe we can see an equilibrium. The best case scenario, pretty much that is for Fnatic in this.
Yeah.
This side of your server, not really playing that much in APAC, not as much as EU, that's for sure, even in the beginning. But yeah, the good old Mute Mozzie combo for top-down defense usually works pretty well. You got a Vigil if you want to put them all around. I can see the Vigil really working out for this, because you're like, okay, you know what? If they're going to keep droning me and pinging me as a Jaeger, I'm just going to not give them the opportunity and run an operator that literally is hidden to the camera, right? So there it is. Crazy Papillon's going to find the first one on Mag. As he just runs right out the front door of the lobby. Finds him on the rappel there, I believe. And yeah, that's not good. I know it's a very technical term, but not the operator you want to lose. I don't know if they reinforce the tops of those hatches. And there's Yura. One more onto Lusty. The Ash is down, a very vital part of the assault here. And the Nitro Cell's going to miss, but do a lot of damage to Stigs in the meantime. And man, Yura is just dodging and weaving and bobbing between all of those drones. They just can't even find a hold on him.
This is a wild game. Oh, sleep tight, Euro. Sleep tight. I think Euro's already done enough damage, let's be honest. Mags died as the opening kill multiple rounds now. Lusty has gone down to really low HP on the last round. He'll finally get put out as of this round. Down to 3 players here for Fnatic and a whole minute and a half left for the defenders to reposition themselves. I believe there should be more C4s to play with. We can get an extended view there. We still have 2 whole C4s to play with. And considering it's a top-down Milosh, no doubt in my mind they're looking to plant tellers. And with the new explosion radius, even if someone does plant on a table, we've got 2 of those Fnatic players which are quite lit. They should still go to a DBNO state, but Stiggs, he might turn the tides here.
A big one on a JJ as he was just preparing a nitro cell in that position. And yeah, it's a big loss. You lost one of your nitros. It would have been great to have. And suddenly this advantage that Guts had early in the round is fading away. Papillon is going to have to rotate around and find Tex for free there in the glass. Watching through the smoke a bit too much. Zofia still low on HP. Remember that. Always keep it in mind as the quick peek comes around. This is the information, but Stiggs turns for one, can't find the second. Low on HP is Mentalist. Swings from the inside of the office. No, actually, right behind it. Okay, so rotated down next to the glass, but was not found as he was in those service stairs. And there it is. A victory for Fnatic on the round. Another one on top of that would at least equalize things and make it a bit easier to bring back.
I really think Fnatic do have to equalize on their attack because I said before, statistically, every time Guts has played Consulate, they are heavily attacker-sided. They really like and do well on their attacks on this map. Whether or not they're winning maps is beyond the point. I think the point is to say Guts are doing pretty good on their attacks on this specific map. And for Fnatic, they've shown a bit of shakiness on this map on both sides before. So you don't want Guts to get another round where they only then potentially need 2 more rounds on a attacking side that favors them to push them on to match point. It's a tough one for Fnatic as well because there's been a couple of rounds where they've lost people early that they probably shouldn't have. And out of all of the APAC games that we've seen recently, this one's been some of the fastest games or some of the fastest rounds we've seen so far. And I think that's because Fnatic are really bringing the punch. They're bringing it early. They know they want to deal with time management. But that's kind of been giving Guts a bit more of a playground than I think Fnatic had initially anticipated.
So, best question now, can you deal... I mean, look, you see the Dokkaebi even coming out, because like, you know what, if they were running the Vigil before, maybe the Vigil, maybe we'll do it again, and we can deal with that with the Dokkaebi, but Guts are just changing up their setup yet again. I gotta say, I'm very impressed by how reactive Guts have been. Very impressive to see. Now, obviously, this Electro Claw is easy to spot. You know, you're gonna know that it's somewhere sometime, but it burns time, right? It forces the attackers to go places where they don't really want to be, and that's ultimately a positive. You're gaining some time and wasting utility from your opponents. That's really part of the game, this rock, paper, scissors kind of system that we have in Siege.
It's funny because Mag actually will play his DMR with a holographic. So you can tell for the most part he's planning or at least has the opportunity to take short-range engagements. And yet again, opening kill for Guts will come out. Whether or not they turn that into a win is not always to be seen. But the big thing for Fnatic is that it forces them into stressful situations. You've lost the smokes, which would have assisted Tex with the thermal with his particular weapon. And you've lost the hard breach if you were going to use that on any of the walls, of which I don't think it might have been necessary. Can we get a look at Yellow Stairs wall, if you don't mind? Thank you. Just so I can see. Is that reinforced? No, it's soft. So there's actually really not a lot of places you would have needed those Selmas anyway, so they are a little bit lucky. But when you lose a player, are you really lucky, Milosh? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that the sort of luck, this goes on the same level as my usual analysis of that's probably not a good thing. So don't you worry about it. I completely understand the situation. There's Magnet, fire a few bullets here through the lobby door trying to catch Yura out on the rotation, but you're just going to sit in the antechamber. Flash going to be brought in, and Stiggs immediately doubles in. Good teamwork from Fnatic, but do they know that JJ is around the corner? Stiggs already moved on up Yellow Stairs, and No, maybe there's somebody at the top. Lily's going to find a kill. Actually, forcing the jump out from the Zofia, who sprays through that window, but not going to be able to find the player from Guts Gaming. And Fnatic find themselves, well, tapped in the head. Light, well done on a Tex. You know what? If you see a puddle of smoke, might as well shoot through it if you're a Maestro, right? There's a player right around the corner, 2 of them actually, waiting here for Tex. Great play from JJ as his teammate was giving him information, hearing that Magnus was around the corner. And it's all into Stig's half HP on the Zofia, no utility. And, you know, I know that the ability is always seen as a controversial thing where, you know what, you can fight back, as this is like a Polish thing or a Slavic thing, apparently, I'm told. But, yeah, it doesn't help out in this situation. That round was 100% Guts all over the place.
It seemed to me that I really don't want to criticize Fnatic. This is something that's playing on my mind round after round, is because on attack for me, Fnatic feels like they've got great understanding as to how to use multiple pinch angles, triangulation, etc., and use the utility to better engage with the enemy. I think they're great at that. What I don't understand is that they have that pinch onto the player inside of Antichamber. It was great. They used a flash to make him turn around. They pinched at the same time. Boom, easy kill. And then it's almost as if the one moment something good happens, Fnatic just lose everything.
Yep.
It's like Guts just know how to rip that present out of their hand on Christmas Day and go, that's not yours.
Did they like bait one of their players? Like, is this what Guts do?
Yep.
They bait one of their players and then they just force Fnatic into a position where like, okay, you know what? We're happy we got this one kill, but it was all but a ruse because we're just awaiting to pick you from another angle. I'll get 2 of you for the one that you took down, which isn't even really that important of a player. Though that's done and dusted, I guess, now. 4-2 at the half for Guts Gaming is pretty big. I'll give them a lot of leeway coming into the second half. And there's some of the tricky positions that you can see with the Tila, the electro claws. Now, you can't take that. No.
Oh, mental.
You messed it up.
You done goofed, mate.
So unfortunate.
Actually, that's not even a done goof, like, you know, oh, that's a nice clap back. Jaeger onto the Jaeger. Taste of his own medicine. I like a little bit of that. But that electric claw, the reason it is such a tough one is if he doesn't go above and shoot off the roof carefully, he might not be able to get that electric claw back. And they're going to have to take top down, which is what Guts is preparing for now. But if that electric claw is not on the wall, then they just get a free opening onto the garage wall. I don't think he knows how big that is just yet. We'll see. But it's a big misplacement of utility.
So here we are. We're almost a minute down. Guts are trying to set themselves up to enter. Losing the Jackal is not the greatest of things, especially Fnatic kind of adapt themselves. I don't know if they were able to see that the operator they killed was a Jackal or not. Obviously, you have the reveal phase and all, but you don't know if there was a 6th pick or anything around it. But still, if they did, maybe that prompts them to be a bit more aggressive. JJ is going to find Lusty, but he gets dropped. Oh no, the pure bait! As Light will get 1, but Tex immediately firing back with 2 down. Now, Lily did fire a couple bullets out, so they know that he's coming in from the lockers area. And there's one more to destroy the default cam. 2 players are now pushing in from the back. The 2, of course, from Guts, Papio on the pre-fire. Inside a cafeteria, nobody to be found in there. Sticks can smoke this hallway off if necessary, and Tex setting himself on yellow would be great to have. I'm not sure where Magnet is sitting currently. He's got a nitro. It can definitely help. Yeah, he is playing all the way in the back with the white van or the bottom yellow stairs. And Guts are not going to split. They might just be thinking of pushing in here together. This angle is going to allow Tex to just keep poking in and harassing from the back of white van, still trying to pre-fire into Magnet, but doing no damage. There's a minute left, and the skirmish is just going to keep on going. The smokes are delaying, but till when?
I kind of feel like, considering they have the buck in hand and they've got an Ash with the whole Ash charge still in hand, they probably could have still manipulated Piano as best as possible and tried to take picks or force them to flank and use their drones to give that information if they are. Finally, a kill onto Tex, so they've even the number count. And they've got more than 30 seconds here. So what they're trying to do is bait this out. This is the smartest play. And now they'll pitch the smoke. That's a free kill as well, Milosh. Mag has to clutch this out. He's had a pretty good game thus far.
Oh, no! He looked away for just a second and he gets shot from the other end as the bullet holes were already set. Not even the situation to use. Yeah, he was spotted through them. Unfortunate. They backfire. You know what? A wise man of the name of Devin Emzo Becker used to say, and what a wise man with very baggy pants. So he would have said, those holes, they work both ways. And indeed they do. They backfire, and Guts win out the round. 5-2 now. The first one on the attack going their way, despite the early advantage of Fnatic.
Just opening up our squad predictions, our talent predictions sheet here, because I want to call out exactly. Yeah, I want to see exactly who predicted Guts to possibly win this one. I predicted Guts. You didn't even put your predictions in.
Don't tell production.
Production.
I've been up
against this man's.
I've been up since. Look, Des has not put his even for the past couple of days, so I don't know what you're on about. Okay.
Are you talking about Des not even joining these games? Hello?
That sounds like a Des problem, not mine.
Oh my god! Look, I was the only person that put Guts. You've put Guts down now halfway through the game.
It doesn't matter, man.
But, you know, whatever.
I'm all about Guts.
I was the only other talent to put Guts, and the reason I actually put Guts was not because it was Guts v Fnatic. It was just how I felt Guts was kind of on a little bit of a rise, and that was regardless of who they were going up against. I was going to pick Guts anyway. So for me, if they do win this, I'm going to be probably not that surprised. A lot of other people might walk away and go, what? We thought Fnatic would win, everything like that. Fnatic's been super inconsistent both stages. It's too hard to predict them oftentimes. And when I do predict them, they often lose. So
yeah, that's actually the reason why I predicted Norengo to win the last Playday. So that's, you know, you can say that, hey, I might have gone for Guts today, but, you know, there were reasoning behind all of that. Don't you worry about it. But I'm not an analyst. I don't know how these are supposed to work, and I know people, you know, might look for the numbers somewhere else. Mentalist is running the MP5 here on the Wumai. He'll find one kill, and immediately, as is tradition with Guts, they've been so good at this, immediate refrag, taking down Tex. No smokes on the other side except for the Jackal, so it's not like Guts are really relying on it now after the ace loss, but no, he's okay. Claymore. So, yeah, only flashbangs, nothing else, and it's not really the worst of losses. So honestly, yeah, it's fine trading out the ace for the Warden in this one.
I kind of like that they're also bringing that Jackal. I am a little bit disappointed that we're not seeing the smokes with it, but for the most part, I don't think that really is a loss, especially on the top floor. Some people do smoke plants into projector, and they'll sit on the side of the wall for that default plant rather than behind bomb chassis, which is fair enough. But my understanding here is that if they can displace Lusty and the shield placement here, which usually people go below and Ash from below, and I think that's exactly what they've done there. This should give away Lusty's position. They should be able to swing on in. My problem for Fnatic now is, do they have the opportunity to deny plant from where they are? Because they don't have C4s in hand.
Good shot from Lusty, but again, Yura, immediate refrag on Mentalist. He knows that there's a player behind the shield, but there's just no real way to deal with it. Not sure if he still has anything to use there on his Zofia. Yeah, there's the impact destroying the shield. Lusty taking a lot of damage. Not sure if he can run away anywhere, and it doesn't look like he can even. At least now, with the bomb chassis being completely filled out, you can at least be a bit more comfortable, rest easy for it. Well, rest in peace, I guess. There's Lusty taken away by Light. Now it's a 2v3. It started out so well for Fnatic, yet it's slipping away. What a pattern we are trying to predict here. Our brains are going with. Magnet's going to take down one, the shotgun from Magnet. He's had enough of your shenanigans, Guts. And it's all onto left now. No utility left of the guns. Stiggs is down, dropped on the floor. Magnet, he's got to peek this one. Be careful, Magnet. He hits the headshot. Magnet saving the day, and it's Mac, by the way. Great shot to hold it off right behind the shield, using it to his advantage. Hiya. Good. Very well done. They bring it back, at least for now.
That was a really good shield play. In fact, that was some of the most confident shield play I'd seen from a player in a very long time. The way that he was able to caress the edges of the shield to just only give a little bit of a smidge of of his head and exposure off to the right of his shoulder, for example. He doesn't give too much to the opponent to be able to shoot back if he does expose himself. So by using those quick crouch jumps and up and down, he understands that he has to pre-fire the angle. He does have a little bit of ping as well, so he's also accounting for that. That's a lot to think about as a player, and I thought he did that magnificently well. He always plays that shield spot upstairs, so that should be no surprise to an attacker because he's done that multiple times now. My big thing for Guts is that they made that super one-dimensional. Early round, things started to kick off. It was crazy. It was chaotic, whatever. But you then need to collect yourself, and you can't rely on those sort of one-dimensional 1v1s, of which Fnatic have actually done a lot of. So, take a leaf out of the mistakes of Fnatic's book and don't repeat that as well. I wonder what that impact is next to double door on console. That's an interesting one. Is that for the entrance of piano door? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Interesting.
That's for the piano door. I like that. I'm not sure why they used an impact for it when they have a shotgun, but each to their own.
I mean, they got other things to do. I wonder how many impacts Fnatic are running. Saw this before where they had quite a few.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And 2 have already been used. They still have 2 left. 1 on each one over 2 Italian operators, the Alibi and the Maestro. And then Shield for Mentalist brings it on Warden. Of course, Nitro for Mag and Tex running the only set of barbed wire, 2 of them. As we've been seeing a lot of times today, or in general nowadays in the metagame, 1 set of barbed wire is usually more than enough to do things for the team. Opening up as much of the wall as possible. Usual trick with Buck. Yeah, sure, you don't have grenades, but you still have a lot of soft destruction capability. And you don't need to sacrifice some very important shield breaking util like the Ashe or the Zofia, both of which are present for Guts Gaming.
They know he's there. That's given away his position, absolutely. They don't know exactly which corner he's in, but they'll know that he's playing there in some way, shape, or form. And he has an ADS as well, so the big thing here for Tex in this power position, because it's looking like Guts really want to focus on piano. It's not always the most conventional side to play it in, and it requires a little bit of top floor control. But Crazy Papillon could just challenge onto the vertical players and get away with it. The trouble is Tex is in that super power position, and if they don't displace him, things are going to get bad really quickly. And goodbye to the Warden. Here goes Guts.
Oh boy, there's the diffuser being dropped in. And JJ denied by Lusty. Very well done by the player there on the Alibi. Rotating in perfectly with a 3-speed. And Yura is holding on to the window here in connector, but it's a bit too far away. The whole plan hinged on the diffuser being planted for everybody outside of the building to kind of support a post-plant. Unfortunate for Guts in this one, as Fnatic look pretty good in the round here. Tex will find the kill on a Yura, and we're set in a 4v2. It's going to sit with Mute Hammer, hard reinforcement. Should be all good to go for this one, unless a headshot could be found. No, Papillon's going to fall off of the angle. Stig's is going to be stunned for just a moment, not really going to affect him much. Papillon can just push out, but he's got to deal with Magnet also. Stiggs gets 1. There it is for Magnet. Just a bit more damage done onto the Maestro. Light on his own. There's the run out. Lusty will find the final kill, and that's Fnatic on the comeback with round number 4. Put it on the board.
I don't want to say that came off the back of Lusty, because I think Tex could have maybe shuffled a little bit left and right and used that vertical hole a little bit more. I know he had pressure on the windows, but he might have been able to get rid of it. My problem is that Guts uses smoke to block piano door, and that's all right, but it's not a shield. It's not a wall. It's not a, somehow you just pop out a brick wall and they can't run through it. Of course someone's going to run through it. They know the plant's going down. They don't have the vertical specifically on it at that time. So, of course, Lusty has the opportunity to run through it. That's where a Glaz would have come better into play. I'm not saying that teams need to change their strategies for the last Playday, when you have a patch come through, but that's something that you can see Fnatic have tried to do. They've spoken about the imposition of Glaz and how it can be very handy. It didn't always work, but in that situation there, Guts would have won that round if they had a Glaz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been seeing the operator used and abused, or at least tried, by Fnatic a lot more than we did from Guts. I don't think Guts brought it at all, right? So,
right.
Yeah, would have been great. That is Fnatic on the reinforcement, pretty much running the same setup as Guts were on this site, but the biggest change, of course, bringing the Mozzie. Seeing the variety. I wonder what the 5th operator was again. Forget. I'm getting old, Jess. I always forget that one
You know, I'm
detail.
old too. I'm old soon too. Wow, I can't even English. I'm old soon.
I'm
a
old
boomer
soon
soon.
too. What is it?
Yeah.
How?
I'll be 25 in a couple of weeks.
Don't worry. 25's good. 25's a good
Is
year.
it?
25's a
Okay.
good year. It's...
You've just cast a curse me, but that's fine.
Well, I'm not a caster technically, so it doesn't matter anymore, right? I can't curse anybody.
Wow.
The
I'm
buck
also
goes
I'm
curse.
also younger than medics. I'm younger than you. I'm younger than medics. I'm still quite young, you know.
Yeah,
Still
see?
hitting those
There you go.
youth years.
Yeah, I can see with the KD. Don't worry. By the time you're as old as Des,
Oh,
it's
thank
all
you.
gone.
Yeah, it'll drop from like the 1.45 like seasonally to like
A 0.45. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it gets.
That's
You switch over, you become a thermite mate like Hap, and you just it's all done. There it is, Yura on the rappel, checking for any rotations through the big desk here, long desk that is. Lusty's just playing inside a projector / meeting room, whatever you'd like to call. And yeah, so far pretty calm on all fronts really. Guts trying to poke in and apply some pressure from the office area up on the atrium. There's nobody really around there to contest them, as Fnatic are just wasting a bit of time, but a lot of damage has been put onto Magnet, and this will force Fnatic to rotate from the backside through Banana back down onto lockers and onto the site. Might not have been a kill, but it's still a lot of damage and a good angle from Yura here. This will allow him to cut off any future rotations and get the foot scans, which is great because these are still fresh scans. Fresh feet. I'm not gonna say that. Footprints on the floor. Look, I can be a bit rusty every now and then, but here we are.
Fresh feet. That was the creepiest thing I heard you say on the cast.
Look, I'm just
me.
trying to work things out here. You know, I know Des isn't here, so I have some small shoes to fill. So always have to keep it in mind.
They are small shoes and you're fitting them very, very wholeheartedly. I'm very much enjoying you here with me. But
Thanks.
you know what else I'm enjoying is that I didn't even realize Fnatic have really brought things back in this matchup. I think that's huge for them. They've been having quite a rough first half, and to be able to come onto their defense and still show that they can bring back this even scoreline that the first half probably rightfully should have ended in. And now this is what I wanted Fnatic to do on their attack, and this is what Guts's prowess is that they're able to work these vertical holes. And when I say work them, they're just eating bars for days.
Lusty still got the kill after all of it onto light, so fair enough. The reinforcement or the hatch here inside a bathroom has already been reinforced. That was the plan from the beginning, right? Burn away as much time and then fall back. There's 20 seconds left. There's 2 players down on Guts. And, well, Magnet is still alive. Mentalist might have been taken away, but how much will it matter? You got 10 seconds. You got to rush. Oh, no! Right at the top. They're going to find him. Lily will go for 1 and 2 kills. And what is the response now from Fnatic? To have a Nitro Cell the Magnet can use to open up an extra bigger hole for himself, which stabs him at the same time! JJ going for the plan. The smoke is a bit too slow, and Stiggs has to try to bring it back. It's not gonna happen. Oh, he gets 1, not the second, and I cannot believe what just happened in front of me. The Ash running in from behind, finds 1 on pipes, finds 1 at the bottom of the util stairs, and then the most beautiful rotation / angle ever opened up. Man, you got a feel for that one.
I didn't even see where the plant was going down. I don't know if medics could sort of give me a whisper, a little ASMR in my ear as to exactly where that plant went down in garage. I did hear it going off. Alas, we was too busy watching, and medics doesn't even know where it went off, so maybe I'll have to watch it back later. The big thing for me was that even if Mag had have got that C4 off, and he was a slither of HP, so no wonder he went down to that explosion radius. But even if he had got that C4 off above, I don't think it would have opened up enough angle as to where I believe the plant was happening. I believe it was further up near Yellow Pillar, if I'm understanding it, maybe even next to the bomb chassis. So for me, I don't think Mag could have done too much from the angle. So the outcome may have been the same, but at least Mag would have still been alive to have been able to assist Stiggs, even maybe been a bait. Maybe that round could have gone differently. And I tell you what, Fnatic's in a spot now, Milosh. They have to win the next 2 rounds to go to overtime. We have no draws here in APAC North, which is a little bit refreshing. I kind of like it. It means someone's going to walk away the loser no matter what. And Fnatic don't want to be that loser because we'll push it in your faces again. They lose this and games go a certain way today, Fnatic don't make the major.
Yep, that's the unfortunate. I mean, yes, there's a lot of different things that have to align to make it happen that way, but yeah, Fnatic, for the love of God, you gotta tie. That's the only way, by the way, Fnatic to survive. We are in APAC, which means you can go to overtime and fight for your chances there in that mini best of 3, but this means that you have to play a total of potentially 5 rounds and win 4 of them. That's it. It's brutal. It's gonna be difficult, but you know what? That's the price that they're gonna need to pay for this one. If Fnatic want to stay and actually want to keep their major spot and a position in their own hands, right? You want to always control your fate as much as you can. You can't control other things, but the things that you can, you should always give them your all. This is something for everybody's, how I say it, like daily life quotes, by the way. Maybe that'll help someone.
Inspirational and motivational coaches quotes by Milosh.
I don't follow those accounts. They're usually for people that have other problems to deal with, but here we are today.
Positivity and motivation. Milosh says, you've got problems in your life.
No. It's just those like motivational coach things on Twitter. You know, those are the things. Otherwise, I'm all fine. Like, you know what? You got it.
Damn,
you got
Canadian.
it.
That's brutal.
Well, I think a lot of people tell him a lot of times. I look at Twitter every now and then, which is usually a mistake. Here's Stiggs, a long angle have been opened up to watch. Very cheeky there. Anybody poking in from the balcony, nobody there. It's in support of Lusty. And this is possibly something that Guts are not really expecting.
Yeah, I saw Corey rock this in EUL Stage 1. It was a really good angle, and they were able to net some really powerful angles onto the upside-down rappel as they really pressured these players inside of Projector. Lusty somehow gets out. That is something that should not happen in any way, shape, or form. And they're still not dealing with the stuff inside of Projector. 2 whole Banshees are in there. Fnatic know exactly what the plan of Guts is, but they've got rid of both of them. Just under a minute left. They're in really good time here. I didn't even realize how much time they've been able to save by doing this. And they've got the Selma hole opened up. No, Fnatic, you have to win this round. You have to win the one after to bring it to overtime. Guts are in a good spot here. Here goes the plant, Milosh. They didn't see him jump in.
No!
This is all going wrong.
You had one job. Light is going to get tagged through the wall here, but it's not going to be enough. The diffuser's already been planted, and Light's going to escape. Lily will find one. Yura with the other on a Lusty, and that Mentalist is left to hold the line. Lily's one, Yura for the second, but Stiggs on the rotation as he's left on his own suddenly. One on the floor has been down. He notices one at the bottom of the balcony. He spots him, and there's the headshot. Light for free. Yura's already down. You don't need to worry about him anymore, but where is Papillon? He's on the... Oh, no. He might not know about this. Stiggs. He's got the time here if he wishes to go for the fight. He fires in. They're both low on HP, and he gets it. Flash Stiggs is going to drop around, and Papillon will just keep on firing with a buck. Oh, my God. That got way too close for comfort. He almost did it. He almost did it, but they had the guts for it.
Nice little pun there to finish that off, Milosh.
Here it is. Guts Gaming.
There it is.
Get it.
Wow, this will really toss and turn the tables of the leaderboard as it currently exists. Because as we said, Fnatic don't win this one. Guts win this, and well, they might be pushed all the way up into that major spot. But this entirely depends on how all the other matches go tonight. But guess what? We've cursed things before. Yeah. I'll probably curse things again. I might be talking this into existence now. And if I do, Fnatic, for what feels like the first time ever, are not participating in a major of some kind, some way, somehow. This might be an eventuation today.
It might be a big problem, and at the end you saw the scoreboard flash out. There's a lot of kills on Fnatic's side, but they couldn't translate it into the rounds. A lot of these were very close, and yeah, you got to watch out for this in the future, people.
Oh no, you know I could do
Rotations.
that too. Wait.
Go for it.
Wait, ready? This is serious. very serious.
Very serious. Ladies and gentlemen, let's seriously toss it over back to our analyst desk. Go.
I see you guys. I see you.